making and maintaining gardens, growing food, the knowledge of how to grow vegetables and fruits, the understanding of seasons, planting depth, watering, managing pests, harvesting at the right time, the ability to maintain a garden that produced food. By participating in family or community gardens, by watching, by doing the work, by learning from parents and grandparents who often had rural roots and maintained gardens even in cities. Gardens supplemented diet. Growing food was free food. It connected to seasons and natural cycles. It was work that families could do together. It provided fresh vegetables and fruits that were otherwise expensive. They've never had access to land to garden. They don't know seasons or growing cycles. They've never planted a seed and watched it grow. Food comes from stores. The knowledge of how to grow food, knowledge that humans have maintained for millennia, has been lost in a single generation. 14. Making clothes from patterns and fabric. The ability to take a pattern and fabric and create a piece of clothing. The understanding of measurements, of how fabric behaves, of sewing seams and finishing edges. The skill to make something wearable and attractive. By watching mothers or grandmothers sew, by participating in the sewing process, by having clothes made for them and understanding how it was done. Some took formal classes, but many learned through observation and practice. Store-bought clothes were expensive. Sewing your own saved money significantly. You could also customize, making sure clothes fit well and matched your personal style. Clothing made at home was often better quality than what was affordable to buy. Clothes are cheap. The skill of sewing is gone. Most kids have never held a sewing machine needle. They've never thought about how to make something fit. The skill of transforming fabric into wearable items has vanished almost completely. Identifying poisonous plants and safe plants. The knowledge of which plants were poisonous and should be avoided, and which plants were safe. Particularly important were plants children might encounter in yards or outdoor spaces. From parents warning them, from direct teaching, from older siblings and friends, through exploration and being told what to avoid, through understanding that some plants could make you sick. Kids played outside. They might pick things to eat or touch. Knowing which plants were dangerous could prevent serious illness. The knowledge was a safety skill. They don't play outside the same way. They're supervised when they do. They're told to stay away from plants rather than taught to identify which specific ones are dangerous. The practical knowledge has been replaced by generalized caution. Preserving food, canning, pickling, drying. The knowledge and skill to preserve food through canning, pickling, drying, or smoking. The ability to take food when it was abundant and preserve it for times when it wasn't available. By helping, by watching mothers and grandmothers preserve food. By learning the process and the science behind it. By participating in the annual rhythm of food preservation. Abundance didn't last year-round. Fresh vegetables in summer became scarcity in winter. Preserving food meant having food all year. Canned vegetables, pickles, and preserved fruits were staples in pantries. The skill was essential. Food is always available. You buy what you want when you want it. There's no need to preserve. The knowledge has been lost because the practical application has disappeared. Many would probably worry about botulism or consider it dangerously old-fashioned. 17. Making soap and other household cleaners from scratch. The knowledge
Modern
of
soap
how to
has
make
come a
soap
long way.
from lye and fat. The ability to create cleaning solutions from common ingredients, vinegar, baking soda, salt, the understanding of how to clean effectively without commercial products. From parents, particularly in families with southern or rural roots. From necessity, from understanding the chemistry of cleaning without having the vocabulary for it. Commercial cleaning products cost money. Making your own was economical. You controlled what went into your home. The products worked well and were safe. They've never had to. They think cleaning means buying products from stores. They don't understand the chemistry of how things get clean. They don't know that vinegar and baking soda can clean almost anything. The knowledge is gone. 18. Understanding basic health and first aid without doctors. The knowledge of home remedies, of understanding when something required a doctor and when it could be handled at home. The ability to treat minor wounds, manage fevers, understand which ailments were serious and which would resolve on their own. From mothers and grandmothers, from experience, from learning that some things required professional care and some didn't, from understanding home remedies passed down through generations. Doctors were expensive. Many families couldn't afford to go to the doctor for every ailment. You had to be able to distinguish between what was serious and what wasn't. You had to understand basic treatment, how to clean a wound, how to treat a fever, how to manage pain. They've been trained to go to the doctor for everything. They don't have practical health knowledge. They don't know home remedies. They're disconnected from understanding their own body's ability to heal. They're dependent on medical professionals for issues that previous generations would have handled at home. Negotiating and bartering, getting better deals through relationship. The ability to negotiate with storekeepers, to understand when you could get a better deal, to barter goods or services. The knowledge that prices weren't always fixed and that relationship mattered in commerce. By watching parents and community members negotiate, by understanding that money was tight and you had to be smart about how you spent it, by learning that relationships with shopkeepers and business owners could result in better deals. Every dollar mattered. If you could get a better deal, you took it. Shopkeepers often gave better prices to regular customers or to people they knew. Negotiation wasn't considered rude, it was expected commerce. Prices are fixed. Stores don't negotiate. Kids are used to going to stores, paying the mocked price, and leaving. They don't know how to talk to business owners about deals. They don't understand that relationship affects commerce. The skill of negotiation has been lost. 20. Making money through hustles and small services. The knowledge of how to identify needs in your community and fill them for money. Mowing lawns, raking leaves, babysitting, running errands, washing cars, collecting bottles for returns. The hustle mentality, figuring out how to make money from available resources. By necessity, by observing what needed doing and seeing opportunity, by learning that you could control your own income if you were willing to work, by starting young and building skills. Allowances were rare. If you wanted money, you had to earn it. Understanding how to identify opportunity and work was essential. Kids learned entrepreneurship through necessity. They're accustomed to having money provided or having limited chores for allowance. They haven't been taught to identify unmet needs or to offer services. Many don't have the work ethic or the confidence. The hustle mentality has been lost, replaced by entitlement or dependence. 21. Reading people, understanding social dynamics and navigation. The ability to read a situation quickly, understand the power dynamics, know when to speak and when to stay silent, understand how to navigate different contexts and different people. The social intelligence developed through observation and necessity. By having to navigate complex social worlds, by being in mixed age groups, by having limited adult supervision in some contexts, by learning early that understanding people was a survival skill. Social navigation was essential. You had to be able to read danger. You had to understand different authority figures and how to interact with them appropriately. You had to be able to move between different social contexts. Your survival sometimes depended on reading situations correctly. They're often supervised. Their social interactions are often structured. They don't have practice reading complex social situations. They communicate through screens, which doesn't develop these skills. They lack the intuitive understanding of power dynamics and social navigation that previous generations developed.
22. Entertaining yourself for hours with minimal resources. The ability to be alone or with friends and create hours of entertainment from minimal resources. The capacity to self-occupy, to use imagination, to play complex games that required only what was available. By not having other options, by not having screens, by having time and space, by playing with siblings and friends and creating complexity together. Boredom was something you had to solve yourself. Parents weren't obligated to entertain you. You had to develop the capacity to entertain yourself. This capacity was essential for mental health and resilience. They have screens. They have scheduled activities. When they're bored, they pull out a device. They've never had to create their own entertainment for extended periods. They struggle with boredom. The capacity for self-entertainment has been lost.
23. Making and maintaining friendships without technology. The ability to make friends through proximity and interaction. The understanding of how to develop and maintain friendships without texting or social media. The skill of face-to-face social engagement. By playing outside, by neighborhood interaction, by school, by having to maintain friendships through physical presence and conversation. Friendship was how you spent your time. You made friends by being present. You maintained friendships by continuing to show up, by spending time together, by talking. Technology mediates friendship. They can text instead of calling. They can like a post instead of having a conversation. They don't have the skills of in-person social engagement. Many feel anxious in face-to-face social situations. The ability to develop friendships through physical presence has declined.
24. Understanding the cycles of nature and seasons. The intuitive understanding of seasons, of how they changed, of what that meant for activity, for food, for clothing, for daily life. The awareness that seasons mattered and that human life was connected to those cycles. By living it, by being outside, by understanding that you could do different things in different seasons, by knowing what food was available when, by understanding that seasons required different clothing and different activities. Life was connected to seasons. You planted in spring, tended in summer, harvested in fall, prepared for winter. You understood that seasons mattered for what was available and what was possible. They live in climate-controlled environments. They don't experience seasons in the same way. They don't know what's in season or what that means. They're disconnected from the natural cycles that humans have been attuned to for millennia. The understanding of seasonal cycles has been lost. 25. Accepting limitation and making do with what you had. The psychological capacity to accept that you didn't have everything, that you couldn't have everything, and that this was okay. The ability to be happy and fulfilled with less. The understanding that limitation wasn't tragedy. It was just the condition of life. By living it, by not having extra, by watching parents manage scarcity with grace and humor,
by understanding that wanting and not having were separate things. Scarcity was the condition. You had what you had. You couldn't change that by complaining or wanting. You could only change it by being creative and persistent. Kids learned contentment with limitation. They've been raised with the expectation of having options and choices. When they can't have something, it's seen as a problem. They don't have the psychological capacity to be happy with less. They're accustomed to abundance, or at least the expectation of abundance. The ability to find contentment in limitation has been lost.
The loss of competence, the loss of self-sufficiency. These 25 skills represent something larger than practical competence. They represent psychological resilience, self-efficacy, and the confidence that comes from being able to handle what life requires. A Black kid in the 1970s, by the age of 15, could cook a meal, repair clothing, navigate their neighborhood, entertain themselves for hours, read complex social situations, and handle most basic problems that arose. They had the confidence that came from competence. Kids today are often less capable in practical ways, but potentially more capable in abstract or technological ways. They can code, they can navigate complex digital environments, they can research almost anything. These are valuable skills, but there's something lost when you can't cook your own food, fix your own clothes, or entertain yourself without a device. The loss isn't just individual, it's generational. Knowledge that was passed down directly, through example, through necessity, is now gone. If a 1970s grandmother knew how to preserve food, she taught her daughter, who taught her children. That chain has been broken. The knowledge has been lost. There's nostalgia in remembering these skills, but there's also truth. A generation that could do these things had competence and confidence that came from that capability. They were less dependent on systems and institutions. They could take care of themselves in practical ways. That self-sufficiency had profound psychological effects. Today's kids have different skills. Whether they're better or worse is debatable. But the loss of practical competence, the loss of self-sufficiency, the loss of the knowledge that you could handle what came your way, that's a real loss. The question is whether what they've gained, technology, information access, choices, is enough to balance what they've lost.